Look, I'm gonna be out here next week. Well, I ain't gonna be I'm gonna be dealing with this dude because he gonna lead me astray. I could try to correct him, but I can't. There ain't no if he doesn't get that these other nations are gonna be slaves to us, then why he's not of the elect. This is John 4:22, or 21. Or no, I start at 19. John 4:19. The woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worship in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Yahawashi said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews, the Israelites. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshiper shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. Yahawah is the Spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Ain't no other way. We gotta get this. Why are you trying to save Edomites? You can't even save yourself. Won't even. It's a major stumbling block for these people. But America's gonna be destroyed. America's gonna be destroyed, so it don't even matter if all brothers over here with the Bibles and them, because we're doing this to get out of here. But he's doing it just to save some Edomites. No, that ain't gonna work. This is Romans 16:17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. Right, so we just gotta avoid them dudes. Right now, be out here, and yeah, he come up, but we ain't gonna be buddy with somebody like that. Why would you want to save an Edomite, bro? This is Ephesians 6, verse 10 and down. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, which devil means deceiver. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, right? We're not carnal, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, right? So we're not out here being carnal and being like, oh yeah, we're just gonna chain up these Edomites. We're gonna wait on the Most High to do that, on the Most and Yahawashi to do that. This is Ezekiel. Ezekiel 33, verse 31. No, I start with 30. also, thou son of man, that the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, everyone to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh forth from the Lord. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouths they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice, and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. No, let me get this too. Ezekiel 33 and 17. Yet the children of thy people say the way of the Lord is not equal, but as for them, their way is not equal, because it's not balanced. You're going to have some people, if somebody's rising up, that means other people are falling. Right now, the Edomites are up. So when the Edomites fall, we're going to be up, right? And the Edomites have to have a terrible fall for that. Says Proverbs 23 and 23. See if I go before that. Proverbs 23 and 23. Buy the truth and sell it not. Also wisdom and instruction and understanding. The father of the righteous shall rejoice, and he that beget a wise child shall have joy of him. Thy father and thy mother shall be glad, and she that bare thee shall rejoice. Right? My son, give me thy heart, and let thine eyes observe my ways. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. Right? Those different philosophies in them. She also flieth in wait as for a prey, and increaseth to transgressors among men. This is Isaiah 49, and start at 5. Let me put these on. See if I can use this one. Isaiah 49 and 5. And now saith the Lord that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him. Though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord, and my power shall be my strength. And he said, It is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. Right? So that's talking about these the Israelites that don't know they're Israelites, or that don't follow the ways of or don't follow the ways of the Most High. You know, they you can say you're an Israelite. Yeah, I'm an Israelite, but then are you saying in another sentence that the heathens can make it? Because they only care about, if they gonna save somebody, they only care about the so-called white man. They don't care about Ammonites. They don't care about Moabites. They only care about saving the white man. They got that what's that syndrome? The that um that that slave mentality. They want to save master. What's it called? Home something. They just want to save the white man, even though they did all that shit to us. This too, so I'll get it real quick. Zechariah 14 at the top. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the woman ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle. Right, and that's coming up. That's what we're waiting for. Because he's stirring up the minds of these kings right now to all go against each other. And it's America's basically divided at this point. There's people working, not getting paid enough. That's not even righteous at all. So we know this place don't have much longer. When these people don't eat and they just break into these people's houses, because that's prophecy too. When they ain't got no food and they just breaking in, they don't care if you they don't care whoever you are. This is Second Ezra 16 and 35. Well, let me see if I can. This is Second Ezra 16 and 35. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Most High, receive it. Behold, the word of the Most High, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains. And if they got great technology here, why can't they stop them birth pains by the Most High? Within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment, right? Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Second Ezra 15 and 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right? There ain't gonna be no food. And if people don't get no food stamps, they gonna get some food though. They gonna find some food. They ain't just gonna starve when other people got food. That's why it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, kill all the kids, kill all the parents, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's what's coming up. That's why this woman is crying right now, because she knows that her water broke, right? And these pains are coming on, and they ain't gonna slack no more, right? They wasn't slacking. It wasn't time yet. Right? Like I say, do yet this day unto my chosen, show what I do also in recompense in their bosom, saith the Lord power. So that's what's going to come. It's going to come upon these other nations. With our nation too. Israel's going to be dealt in. Right? My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. Right? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15. At the top, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let the incredulity or unbelief of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Right? Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. That's the only thing that these people got to look forward to. That's why I say that that's the only thing they got to look forward to. The sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their harmful works are fulfilled. And measuring down the times diligently, we know that this place don't have much left to go. Right? But like in Tobit, that's why it says, because there's two types of Gentiles and people can't get it. Tobit 13, and I'll start at the top. Then Tobit wrote a prayer of rejoicing and said, blessed be the Most High that liveth forever, and blessed be his kingdom. For he doth scourge and have mercy, he leadeth down to hell and bringeth up again, neither is there any that can avoid his hand. Confess him before the Gentiles, and the Gentiles are these other nations, the heathen nations, the Edomites, the Caucasians, and Ammonites, the Japanese, but the only Israelites are the Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel. So if you of another nation, you can't even confess him. You can't even confess him. You can't, because you can't understand these words unless you're an Israelite.